लाइव हो गए तो बता दीजिए। Good afternoon, students. So, how was your paper? Hope it went well. Physics was kind of medium, the shift which was expected. You see, last 2 days also the physics was medium. So, hope it went well. This session will be useful for those who have written exam today as well as those who are going to write tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So, it will be useful for the future shifts also, because if you see, the questions will be remodified, at least some of the questions will be remodified and used. So for every question we'll be seeing the solution as well as we'll be seeing the spin-offs. So how that question can be remodified in other ways. So without wasting any time, let us start solving the questions. Hope you'll enjoy this session. So let us come to the first question. Now this question has been repeated multiple times. Question has repeated multiple times. If you have seen the previous year questions. So this is a surface tension question where energy of drop is when a drop is split into multiple small droplets, we are trying to find the energy. So let us solve this question. Very simple. The basic formula for this question is surface energy. Surface energy is given by surface tension into area. Surface energy is given by surface tension into area. So T into 4 pi r square, because it's a drop is a sphere. Surface energy is T into 4 pi r square. Now they are saying first it is split into 27 drops. First it is split into 27 drops. Work done is 10 joules. What if it is split into 64 drops? They are asking the new work done. So this is initial energy. We'll call it E1 equal to 3 into 4 pi R1 square. Now the basic concept of this formula is equating the volumes. When a drop breaks into multiple drops or droplets, the volume remains constant. So we need to conserve the volume. So how will we conserve the volume? 4 by 3 pi R1 cube is 27 into 4 by 3 pi R2 cube. And 4 by 3 pi R1 cube is 64 into 4 by 3 pi R3 cube. So these are the two equations. This is case 1 where you are breaking the drop into 27 drops, and this is case 2 where you are breaking the drop into 64 drops. So what does this equation give us? This equation gives us R1 is 3R2 and here R1 is 4R2. Okay. Now energy in the first case, when you are breaking it into 27 droplets, let us find the energy in the first case. So energy required in case 1. Energy required in case 1. What is energy required in case 1? Final energy minus initial energy. E2 minus E1. What is E2? We have 27 drops. E2 is, we have 27 drops. So 27 into T into 4 pi R2 square minus E1 is T into 4 pi R1 square. Okay. But we have R2 is R1 by 3. You can clearly see R2 is R1 by 3. So 27 into T into 4 pi R1 by 3 whole square minus T into 4 pi R1 square. This entire thing is given as 10 joules. Entire thing is given as 10 joules. So this is 27 by 9, 3. 27 by 9 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 into T into 4 pi R1 square is 10 joules. Okay. So let us put this aside. Let us put this aside. Now we need to find energy in second case. Let us take a fresh page. Energy required in second case. Energy required in case 2 is very simple. It is E3 minus E1 because the first drop you are breaking into 64 drops. So it is 64 into T into 4 pi R3 square minus T into 4 pi R1 square. But you can see from previous condition that R1 is 4R2, which is R2 is R1 by 4. So 64 into T into 4 pi R1 by 4 square right. Now, so this is 4 square 16. So 4 minus 1 3. 3 into T into 4 pi R1 square. So that is what we need. This is energy required in case 2. So we have T into 4 pi R1 square is 5. T into 4 pi R1 square is 5 joules. So we can substitute that. 3 into 5 joules is 15 joules. Okay. So if I quickly brief this question again, this is kind of medium question as you can see. So there's little calculation involved. So even though it's just straightforward question, but there was calculation involved here in this question. So what we are doing is first drop is breaking into 27 droplets. So we found E1, the energy 1 is T into first area, and E2 is 27 drops T into 4 pi R2 square. But we have relation from conserving volume, and the other shifts also can expect this. This was very important. If you see the PYQs also, a lot of times this concept was used. At least the last few years, at least 10 times the same concept was repeated in multiple manipulations of the same question. So we found change in energy in first case where it's breaking into 27 drops. We found change in energy in second case where it is breaking into 64 drops, and we compared the energies. So first one was 2 times T4 pi R1 square. This 3 times, so that was 10 joules. This is 15 joules. Yeah. So our correct answer will be B for this. Let us move to the next question. Next question is on RMS current. So we have two currents combining, two AC currents. They are not DC currents. If DC currents combine, you can use KCL, that is I1 plus I2. But when AC currents combine, you can't use KCL. We have to use phasor method. So this is IA sin omega t and IB cos omega t. So IA sin omega t plus IB cos omega t. But to use phasor method, we need to convert all the functions into either sine or cos, so that you can compare the phases. So cos omega t can be converted into sine function like this, sine omega t plus pi by 2. So now we have two phasors having a phase difference of pi by 2. So when we draw these phasors IA, and when we draw this phasor IB, we will get resultant phasor. Resultant phasor is square root of IA square plus IB square. But that is not the end of the question. That is giving us amplitude or maximum current. This is maximum current of the function. They are interested in RMS value. RMS value is maximum value by root 2. So RMS will be root over IA square plus IB square by, understood? So RMS current will be D option. So if you see at the spin-off for this question, there are two ways they can manipulate this question in other ways. One is asking you VRMS. The VRMS also same thing. If you have AC voltages, they add like phasors. So you can draw the phasors with phase difference. Here phase difference is pi by 2. If you have phasors having some other phase difference, some other angle instead of 90 degrees, then let us discuss that concept. So if you have IA, IB having some theta, instead of pi by 2, we have some theta, then resultant would be square root of IA square plus IB square plus 2IA IB cos theta. So in other shifts they can change this angle. For this question we have 90 degrees as the phase difference. So they can have omega t plus pi by 6 or pi by 3, 2 pi by 3, anything like that. Then we should use this formula. So you should not confuse with DC currents. Most of the students confuse AC currents and DC currents. DC currents add directly like scalars, but AC currents add with help of phasors. And this phasor method is very important. It repeats in multiple chapters, like addition of SHMs, addition of waves, interference, and wave optics also. So once revise those concepts in all chapters. Next, so there is a solid cylinder. Solid cylinder is nothing but a disk. Solid cylinder rotating about an axis is nothing but a disk, because you can slice it into disks. It is released from rest at top of an inclined plane of theta angle 45 degrees. Assuming cylinder rolls without slipping, so it is just pure rolling condition on an incline. It's a pure rolling condition. Acceleration, they are asking. Direct formula based question. If it is not rolling, acceleration is g sin theta. If it is rolling down the incline, acceleration, you need to remember this. It is g sin theta by 1 plus I by mr square. So first we'll solve it using formula. Later I'll write the equations also how we got this. Everything is given in the question. So g sin theta, it is g into 1 by root 2 divided by 1 plus the disk. Solid cylinder is nothing but a disk. Moment of inertia about its axis is mr square by 2, right? So let us simplify this term. This g by root 2 is 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. So we are getting 2 by 3 root 2, 2g by 3 root 2. C option, that is the correct one here. So what will be the equations for this? If you draw the forces, mg sin theta, friction, right? So what will be the equations? Mg sin theta minus F is ma, that is force equation. Whereas torque equation would be F into R is I alpha, and alpha is A by R. Because of no slip condition, A equals to R alpha. So Fr is IA by R. We want acceleration, we don't want friction. So we can add these equations, 1 plus 3. So if you add first equation and third equation, minus F plus F is gone. You have mg sin theta is, acceleration is common, m plus I by R square, right? So you can send this side, you are going to get mg sin theta by 1 plus I by mr square, right? So that is the derivation for that formula, but anyway that formula is very important, you need to remember this. The spin-offs for this question would be, they would be asking what is the velocity at the bottom. Instead of asking acceleration, they could have asked velocity at the bottom, or they can ask which one reaches the first. So in all those cases, we should be able to do that, because if acceleration is high, it will take lesser time. So whose acceleration is higher, that will take lesser time. And regarding velocity, how will you find velocity? Velocity is through conservation of energy. mgh is half mv square plus half I omega square. So they can ask this question, velocity when it reaches bottom. In fact, yesterday also we got this. They asked ratio of velocities for two cylinders, but height was same. So in that case, you will get equal ratio. So half mv square plus half I v square by r square. Because in pure rolling, v equal to r omega. If you understood this, so this was an important model and direct formula based question. Even though it's given as medium, but I would say it is easy question, because if you have to remember this formula is important one. Next, it's an easy question from projectile and combined with rotational motion. It's not a pure projectile question, it's combined with rotational motion. They're asking if a body is projected at 45 degrees, what is the angular momentum at highest point about point of projection? So let us draw the thing. So highest point, what is its velocity? Velocity is v naught cos 45. The highest point velocity is v naught cos 45. But they are asking angular momentum. Angular momentum is linear momentum into perpendicular distance. Angular momentum is r perpendicular into linear momentum. Now let us extend this vector. See, to find perpendicular distance, you need to extend this vector. So this is the momentum vector and this is your perpendicular distance. What is the perpendicular distance? Very simple. Perpendicular distance is h max. The perpendicular distance from the point of projection to the momentum is h max. So this is h max into m into velocity. Velocity is v naught cos. What is h max? H max direct formula we can use. It is v naught square sine square 45 by 2g into m into v naught cos 45 is 1 by 2, 1 by root 2. Sorry. So that's it. We can substitute this. So what are we getting? M v naught cube by 4 root 2 right? Yeah, 1 by 2 to 4 and root 2. So the options are not there. So as this is the memory based discussion, so we don't have the complete question, but this is the approach where we are finding torque. Sorry, we are finding angular momentum. The spin off for this question would be torque. Here they are asking angular momentum. They could have asked torque. If they ask torque, what is force here? Mg. If they ask torque, torque is perpendicular distance into force. Force is mg. Force is mg and perpendicular distance is r by 2. Right? So what would be torque? Torque would be range by 2 into mg. What is range? Range is v naught square sine 2 theta by g. Right? This way you can solve this question. And the spin off would be torque. Revise this formula once. Let us move to the next question. Next question is easy question from ray optics, direct formula based question. If power is increased from 0.1 d to 2.5 d, what is relative shift of focal length? The power shift is very large. You can't use the error formula. The power shift is very large. We need to find F1, we need to find F2 and find delta F by F. So what is F1? F1 is 1 by 0.1. What is relation between power and focus? This 10 standard formula. Power and focus are inversely related. Focus is 1 by power. So F1 is 10. F2 is how much? 1 by 2.5. 1 by 2.5 is 0.4. 2 by 5. Right? They are asking relative shift in focal length, not shift in focal length. Shift in focal length will be 10 minus 0.4, which is 9.6. They are asking relative shift. Relative shift is delta F by F. Relative shift would be delta F by F, which is 10 minus 0.4 by 10. 9.6 by 10, which is 24 by 25. Option A will be correct for this. This is easy question, direct formula based. Let us move to the next question. Next question is a little medium question because you need to understand SHM to solve this question. But even in that, it's a kind of easy question only. A spring block system has a time period of 2 seconds. D is the total distance and small d is the displacement in 12.5 seconds. Find ratio of displacement and distance and displacement. So SHM would be like this. This is mean position This is extreme, this is right extreme, and this is left extreme. Right? It is having a time period of 2 seconds. Right? First, let us calculate total distance in 12.5 seconds. They didn't mention where it is starting, so let us assume starting from mean position. So starting here for simplicity, 12.5 seconds. In 12.5 seconds, what happens? First of all, 12 seconds is 6 cycles or 6 oscillations. 12 seconds is 6 oscillations. Each oscillation, what is the distance traveled? Each oscillation, it is traveling A. Each oscillation, it is taking a distance of 4A. A, and A. So, and displacement, what is displacement in each oscillation? 0, because it started here. After each oscillation, it comes back to the same position. Displacement is 0 in one oscillation, whereas distance is 4A. Distance in each oscillation is 4A, whereas displacement in each oscillation is 0. Now in 6 oscillations, it will be 6 into 4, 24. In 6 oscillations is 24A. In 6 oscillations, it is still 0, because after 6 oscillations, particle is again at the same point where it started. Now let us just see the last 0.5 seconds, because in 12 seconds it has perfectly finished 6 oscillations. We have to just worry about the last 0.5 second. In 0.5 second, it is 1/4 oscillation, because each oscillation is taking 2 seconds. 0.5 means 1/4 oscillation. Then 1/4 oscillation, it will go from here to here. So plus A, 12.5 seconds is 24A plus A is 25A. Whereas displacement will be from here to here, A. After 6 oscillations, it is again back at here. In that last half second, it has just traveled A. They are asking ratio of capital D by small d. So this is capital D, 25A, capital D by small d, 25A by A. So answer would be 25. Very simple. Each oscillation is taking 2 seconds, whereas they are asking displacement and distance in, distance and displacement in 12.5 seconds. 12 seconds, it is perfectly finishing 6 oscillations. So distance is 24A and displacement is 0 till 12 seconds. That last half second is adding extra A for both distance and displacement. So the ratio is coming out to be 25. So kind of medium question this is, because you need to understand what's happening in an oscillation. Not straightforward formula based question. So let us move to the next question. The particle is having an initial velocity v0 and has a de Broglie wavelength of lambda naught. If an electric field is present in space, find de Broglie wavelength of particle at time t. So initial de Broglie wavelength lambda is h by mv naught, simple formula. If it is experiencing a field of E naught and they didn't mention whether the charge is positive and whether the velocity is in the direction of field. Yeah, some information is missing in this question. Let us assume this is also k cap and charge is positive charge. I am making these assumptions. I am making the assumptions that this positive charge and initial velocity is along k cap. Initial velocity is along k cap. So what is final velocity? V equal to V naught plus AT. V equals to V naught plus AT. So V naught plus acceleration. Acceleration is force by mass. Acceleration is force by mass. So what will be the final de Broglie wavelength? Lambda dash will be h by mv. Lambda dash, which is final de Broglie wavelength, will be h by mv. H by m into final velocity. V naught plus q e naught by m into t. So you simplify that, mv naught plus q e naught, m and m will cancel. So assuming that it is a positive charge, so this would be the answer. But if it was negative charge, option A would have been correct, because the velocity will reduce, field will repel. That is this question. I think this question has some printing mistakes, so we are not sure. But with the information and with the assumptions that I have taken, so this would be the answer. Now coming to spin-offs for this question, they can have kinetic energies. So de Broglie wavelength and kinetic energy. What is the formula? H by under root 2m into kinetic energy. Momentum is h by mv, whereas kinetic energy and de Broglie wavelength relation would be h by under root 2m into kinetic energy. And also potential difference, h by under root 2m into charge into potential difference, because kinetic energy is charge into potential difference. So those would be helpful formulae for the next shifts, so they can ask questions on those. Keep them in mind. Let us move to the next question. A wire of resistance 9 ohm is bent into a form of equilateral triangle. So this is kind of easy question. Bent into the form of equilateral triangle. Find resistance between any 2 points. Very simple. This is 3 ohm, this is 3 ohm, and this is 3 ohm, because 9 ohm is bent into equilateral triangle. So this is 3, 3 and 3. They are asking resistance between any 2 points. Between any 2 points. So it is parallel between 6 ohm and 3 ohm. So here many students confuse which is parallel and which is series. See, if current flow is same, that is series. So this 3 and 3 are in series. Whereas if end points are same, then they are parallel. So this 6 ohm and this 3 ohm are in parallel, because the end points are same, the potential difference will be same. So 6 ohm and 3 ohm are in parallel. So what is the formula? R equivalent is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2, 6 into 3 by 6 plus 3. This is kind of easy question, because the 10th standard electricity also has this basic questions, easy questions. The answer would be 2 ohms. The paper is medium only, very few hard questions. Most of them are easy and medium. Let us move to the next question. Force is given by A plus bx square, where A is 1 and displacement is 1 meter. Work done is 10 joules. What is the value of B? This is again integration question, but very easy, basic question. Work done is integral f dx. So integral A plus bx square dx. Limits are from 0 to 1 because the total displacement is 1 meter. Displacement is 1 meter. So let us do this integration. First one, A dx. A dx integration is ax. Bx square integration is bx cube by 3. Right? We need to put the limits from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. And they are saying this total work is 10 joules. Let us substitute the values. We need to find A. So A plus B is how much? B is okay, B we have to find. A is 1. B into 1 by 3 is 10 joules. So they want value of B. Obvious 27. B is 27, then 9 plus 1 will be 10. So this is kind of easy question because it's basic force and displacement and work done question. Work is integration of f dot dx. Spin-off would be giving areas, area in the area and work done. So those questions, once go through those questions. Next question is on electric flux. So this question has been repeating on the first shift also, it came on 22nd. Also this flux question came, but that was easy. Whereas this question is slightly difficult. That question was charge on the edge of cube. This question is at the middle of cube only. We have to draw an imaginary cube. They're asking flux through the shaded area. So these type of questions, you need to imagine this charge enclosed in a cube. We need to imagine charge enclosed in a cube. Now total flux is q by epsilon naught. Total flux through the cube, through the entire cube is q by epsilon naught. Through each phase, how much is it? Q by 6 epsilon naught. Through each phase, flux is q by 6 epsilon naught. Right? Through each phase, flux is q by 6 epsilon naught. But they are not asking through the entire phase. They are not asking through the entire phase. They are asking through the shaded part. Now, the entire phase, you can divide it into 6 parts. Entire phase you can divide it into 6 parts. Sorry, 8 parts. They are asking through this shaded part. So 5 parts they have taken. In these 8 parts, they have taken 5 parts. This is kind of, that's why this is slightly hard question, but still you can do it. Through each phase it is q by 6 epsilon naught. To the entire phase it is q by 6 epsilon naught. And that phase can be divided into 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts. And among those 8 parts, they have shaded only 5 parts. You can see this entire half is gone. 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas only this one is shaded. So 5/8 of this one. Total there are 8 parts. So flux through shaded region is, it is having 5 parts out of 8 parts, and through this entire phase, it is q by 6 epsilon. Q by epsilon naught through the entire cube, whereas through each phase it is q by 6 epsilon naught. And among that, again we have only 5 parts out of 8 parts. The answer would be 5. This 5/48. In the first shift, the 22nd first shift question was this. So they have placed charge here at the edge. Placed charge at the edge. They were asking flux through the cube. You need 4 more cubes to completely cover up that charge. Only 1/4 charge will be inside that. Only 1/4 charge is inside that cube. We need 3 more cubes to finish that charge. That answer would have been q by 4 epsilon naught, right? Because only 1/4 is inside. So this came on 22nd first shift. So this one is slightly difficult than that one. So once revise these flux and cube questions. So the spin-off would be placing charge at corner. You place charge at corner, be q by 8, because only 1/8 of charge will be inside the cube. So let us move to the next question. In a square loop of side length 1/√2 meter, a current is flowing, 5 ampere is flowing. Find magnetic field at the center. This is kind of easy question because direct formula based question. So square loop of side 1/√2 meter. It is having current of 5 ampere flowing. Magnetic field at center. So due to each wire we can find first. Due to each wire, B due to each side we can find. What is the formula for a magnetic field due to finite wire? What is the formula? Mu naught by 4 pi d sin alpha plus sin beta. The formula for magnetic field due to a finite wire is mu naught I by 4 pi d sin alpha plus sin beta, right? Now, what are these angles? Both the angles are 45 degrees. Both the angles are 45 degrees. And what is d value? D value is half of 1/√2. Let us substitute them. Mu naught by 4 pi is how much? 10 power minus 7. I is 5 ampere. Mu naught by 4 pi is 10 power minus 7. I is 5 ampere. And distance is 1/2√2. Sin alpha plus sin beta. 1/√2 plus 1/√2. Right? So how much are we getting? This 2/√2 is √2 cancels. 4, right? So this is 5 into 4, 20 into 10 power minus 7. But that is only due to one side. If you add due to all of them, 4 loops, 4 sides is 4 into, but they want answer in micro Tesla. Want answer in micro Tesla. So it is 8 into 10 power minus 6. The answer will be 8 for this. So due to each side we are finding direct formula based question, mu naught I by 4 pi d sin alpha plus sin beta due to each side, and we have 4 sides, so we need to multiply by 4. Now they can ask equilateral triangle. Same way they can ask equilateral triangle in the next shifts. Equilateral triangle, we have 3 sides. What are these angles? 60 and 60. In equilateral triangle, these angles will be 60 and 60. So go through other shapes also, like polygon. Previous year questions we have polygon also. Revise those ones for other shapes. Next question. A plano-convex lens has a radius of 2 cm and refractive index of 1.5. Its focal length f1 is in air and f2 is in a medium of 1.2 refractive index. It's again kind of easy to medium question because direct formula based. What is focal length formula or Lensmaker formula? Lensmaker formula is 1 by f is mu 2 by mu 1 minus 1, 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Here they are saying it is plano-convex lens. Plano-convex lens, r1 is infinite and r2 is minus 2 cm. Right? r1 is infinite and r2 is minus 2 cm. So first, what is f1? 1 by f1 is 1.5 by air because f1 is in air. 1 by infinite minus of whereas f2 is 1 by 5 by 1.2 because now you are dipping it in a medium of 1.2 refractive index. They are interested in f1 by f2. We need to take ratio of these equations. We can do 1 by 2. Take the ratio of 1 by 2. You take 1 by 2 ratio, you will get f2 by f1. We need f1 by f2, right? We will take 2 by 1. We will take 2 by 1 because we need f1 by f2. If you take 2 by 1, this is 0.5. This is 0.3 by 1.2, right? So getting 1 by 2, right? So kind of easy to medium question. Directly based on Lensmaker formula, they are asking two focus. One is in air and the other one is some other medium. So these two are common. So this information is not much useful. They'll get cancelled. Let us move to the next question. Satellite A is launched in circular orbit. Satellite B is also launched, but radius is 1.03 r. There is not much difference. R and 1.03 r, not much difference. They're asking time period of B is greater than A by approximately. They are asking relative change in time period. This is directly Kepler's law question. T square is proportional to R cube. and errors, we can use errors formula. Why we can use errors formula? Because there's very small change, r and 1.03 r, very small change, we can use error formula. So 2 delta t by t will be 3 delta r by r, that is the error formula. We need delta t by t because they are asking time period of b is greater than a by how much? 3 by 2 delta r by r. What is delta r by r? 0.03, because 1.03 minus 1, right? So that is 3 by 2 into 0.03. But we need percentage because final answers are in percentage. So into 100. So it is 9 by 2, 4.5%. This is easy question because direct formula based on few steps. So direct Kepler's third law, law of periods, that is time period square is proportional to the orbit radius cube. This is also a very important law. Actually, if you see PYQs, a lot of questions come from this. Next, electron is jumping from principal quantum state A to C by releasing a photon of 2000. Again from B to C, it is releasing a photon of 6000. They are asking what is the wavelength of photon for A to B transition. So we have 3 states, A to, so if you see the energy levels, so 6000 would be this one, B to C. B to C, it is releasing 6000 angstrom. And A to B, it is releasing 2000 angstrom. Sorry, A to C is 2000. A to C, it is releasing 2000 angstrom, and B to C, it is releasing 6000 angstrom. They're asking wavelength for A to B transition. Very simple. Energies you can add. So energy A to C should be energy A to B plus energy BC transition, right? This is you can solve it. This is actually chemistry question also, atomic structure. So energies in AC will be AB plus BC, right? Very easy question. This is HC by AB wavelength, because energy formula in terms of wavelength is HC by lambda. HC by AB wavelength, that's what we are trying to find. This is HC by BC wavelength. BC wavelength is 6000. This is HC by 2000. So what is 1 by AB? You can cancel HC. 1 by AB is 1 by 2000 minus 1 by 6000, right? Simple LCM. 6000 is the LCM. 3 minus 1, 2. So AB will be 3000 angstrom, right? So this is easy question. Now coming to last question, they are asking ideal monatomic gas is undergoing isobaric process. This is easy question from thermodynamics. This is also you can do with chemistry also. They are asking delta Q by delta U. Delta Q by delta U. Very simple. delta Q by delta U. Delta Q is NCP delta T and delta U is NCV delta T. Because this is isobaric process, Q has to be NCP delta T and delta U is NCV delta T. So it is gamma basically. Gamma for monatomic gas. What is gamma for monatomic gas? Pi by 3. The first option would be correct. Gamma for diatomic is 7 by 5, 4 by 3. So that's it from physics. So if I say overall the paper was easy to medium, so same like last two shifts, it was medium paper, nothing difficult. Maybe one question, that flux question, was hard. Otherwise, you can solve it with mostly formulae. So again, my suggestion would be same. So go through these shift papers so that you can revise those formulas again and again. So next, maths sir will be coming to discuss maths paper. All the best, guys. Whoever is writing the next shifts, all the best for you. Those who have written, analyze the paper. If you have committed some mistakes, go through them, do the error analysis and start preparing for second attempt. Don't waste any time. So I'll be handing over to Priyan sir, maths faculty.
Hello, hello. Good afternoon, students. Hope your exam went well. So, as usual, math was on easier side, but at the same time, it was lengthy. So, always try to make almost 1 hour 15 minutes for math section if you want to attempt each and every question here, because obviously, as we are seeing in the last 3 to 4 shift trends, physics and chemistry has been relatively easy, but maths is lengthy. So in order to attempt all the questions of mathematics, you have to make sure that you are finishing the physics and chemistry in 1 hour 45 minutes. Then only you will be able to attempt all the questions of mathematics. So again, same goes for 24 Jan shift 1, where few questions were lengthy, but at the same time, here your smartness comes in that you have to select those questions which will consume your less time and you can attempt a lot of questions out of them. So that's how it is. Let's start with the first question. So a very straightforward question which we often take, you can find in the modules also, you can also see these type of questions you are in previous UIQs. 1 plus x square raised to the power n plus 4, fifth term, sixth term and seventh term are given in AP. So if I write fifth term, it will be n plus 4. C के नीचे 4 आ जाएगा and you will get x square raised to the power 4, which is meaningless. We'll be talking here about coefficients only. So this part can be excluded. Next, P6, if you write, it will come out as n plus 4C5 x square raised to the power 5. Whereas if you write the seventh term will come out as n plus 4C6 x square raised to the power 6. Now it is given that these three coefficients are in AP. So you can directly say that twice of middle term will be is equal to first term plus third term. So twice of middle term, yani ki twice of n plus 4C5 should be equal to n plus 4C4 plus n plus 4C6. Now you can open this n plus 4 factorial upon 5 factorial n plus 4 minus 5. You will get n minus 1 factorial equal to n plus 4 factorial upon 4 factorial n factorial. Very basic equation. Then this one is n plus 4 factorial upon 6 factorial n minus 2 factorial. Once you will simplify this expression and try to find the values of n, you will get the values of n as 3, n as 10. Now, if n is equal to 3, what will be the value of n plus 4? It will be 7. So 1 plus x square raised to the power 7. What will be the highest binomial coefficient? It will be the two middle terms, 7C3 or 7C4. So directly you can say that 7C3 will be my highest binomial coefficient. 7 by 3 into 6 by 2 into 5 by 1. You will get the answer as 35. When you will try to match the answer from n equal to 10, none of the options will satisfy. That's why we'll take the option as correct. Moving on to next question. Number of 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 2 and 3. So numbers which are divisible by 2 and 3 will definitely be divisible by 6, right? So you have to calculate all those 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 6. But not divisible by 4 and 9. Now you want your number that should also not be divisible by 4 and not divisible by 9 also. So you have to subtract all those numbers which are divisible by 4 and which are divisible by 9. First, let's find out those numbers which are divisible by 6. So starting from 100 to 999, these are all my 3-digit numbers, out of which divisible by 6, 102 will be divisible by 6. Next number will be 108. Next number will be 114 and so on. Right? Now, if you try to divide 999 by 6, you will get the remainder as 3. So that means 996. will be divisible by 6. So total how many numbers are there? If you will count these numbers, 6 into 17, 102, 6 into 1, 6 1s are 6, 6 6 are 36, 166 minus 17 plus 1. So number of numbers which are divisible by 6 will come out as 166 minus 17 plus 1. 150 numbers are there which are divisible by 6. Now I want to remove those numbers which are divisible by 4. Let's try to remove the numbers which are divisible by 4, which are in this sequence. So 108 is divisible by 4. Next 112 will be there, but 112 will not come in this sequence. Then 116 will be there, which will again not come in this sequence. 120 will come, which is there in this sequence. So 120. Now common difference is 12. Next number will be 132, 144 and so on. Similarly, the last number which will be there, that will be 996. So 996 is again divisible by 4. So let's count these numbers. 4 into 27 is 108. 4 into 4 to the 8. 4 4 the 16, 249. 27 2 divisible by 4 and 9. 108 12 से divide कर लो. 12 9s are 108. 12 8s are 96, 83. So 83 minus 9 plus 1. That means 75 numbers are there which are divisible by 4. Now I want to remove these numbers. So I'll remove 75 from this. So 150 minus 75. Now coming to numbers which are divisible by 9. So 9 से divisible वाले numbers कौन से होंगे? 108. Then 108 plus 9, 117. 117 will again not come in this bracket. 126. 126 will come in this bracket. That's why you will count 126. Now it's a common difference of 18. So that's why let's find out the last number. Last number will be divisible by 18. That will be 990. So how many terms are there? 18 6 are 108. 18 into 55 is 990. 55 minus 6 plus 1. That means there are 50 numbers which are divisible by 9. Now, the important concept is that there will be numbers which are divisible by both 4 and 9, which you have subtracted here also, which you have subtracted here also. So you will have to add those numbers which are divisible by 36 in order to get to the final result. So minus 75 minus 50 plus those numbers which are divisible by 36 have been subtracted here also and here also. So that's why you will find out those numbers which are divisible by 36. So 108, 144 and so on. Now 36 divided by 999 will leave you the remainder. 36 to the 72, 27, 36 7 the 252. So that means 27 is remainder. So 999 minus 27, 972 is the last number which is divisible by 36. So 27, 36 into 3, 27 minus 3 plus 1. Total 25 numbers are there which you have subtracted twice. So you will have to add it and finally you will get 50 as your correct answer. That's how you can solve these type of questions. A slightly lengthier one, but then conceptually not very tricky. Moving on to next question. Pretty straightforward and easy question. Determinant of A is given as 2. Then determinant of adjoint of adjoint of adjoint of adjoint A. Since we know that determinant of adjoint A is nothing but determinant A raised to the power n minus 1. Now determinant of adjoint A will become determinant A raised to the power n minus 1 whole square. Since 4 times adjoint is there, so that means adjoint 4 times will become determinant of A raised to the n minus 1 raised to the power 4. What is the value of determinant A? That is 2. Order of matrix is 3. So 3 minus 1, 2 raised to the power 4. Answer will be 2 raised to the power 16. That means B option will be the correct one. Again, easy questions. Try to attack these questions at the very start. You should solve this and wrap up these questions in 1 or 2 minutes and move forward. Moving on to simple question of limit. Whenever you see these type of roots, the first thing that should strike your mind is rationalization. कभी भी ऐसा दिखे, go for rationalization. Now, so what you will do is I'll just simply multiply by counterpart and divide. So I'll multiply this by 2 cos square x plus 3 cos x plus root of cos square x plus sin x plus 4. Now since I have multiplied by this, I will also have to divide in order to balance the equation. So same thing will come down plus same thing will come here down. And this cosec x can also be written as sin x. So sin x 1 upon sin x. So you will get something like this. First multiply these two, a minus b into a plus b, a square minus b square. So what you will get, 2 cos square x plus 3 cos x minus cos square x minus sin x minus 4. So this is what we are getting. Then in denominator, I'll get cosec x upon, so I'll get sin x. Sin x is here and this whole thing in root is here. Under root of this thing, 2 cos square x plus 3 cos x plus under root of cos square x plus sin x plus 4. Right? Let's simplify this. So what we are getting, 2 cos square x minus cos square x. So this will become cos square x three cos x plus 3 cos x minus sin x minus 4 upon. Now one more important thing, sin x upon x can be written as 1. So again, what I can do is, here sin x is there. This part is running separately. Cos square x plus 3 cos x minus sin x minus 4. Now I can write sin x upon x as 1. Limit x tends to 0, sin x upon x will be 1. So this will become x. This part will become 1. Now let's check if this is coming out to be indeterminate form. If I put x equal to 0 here, 2 cos 0 will become 2 plus 3 cos 0 will become 3. So this will become under root of 2 plus 3, which is root 5. Cos 0 is 1. Sin 0 is 0 plus 4. So this is again coming out as root 5. So this whole thing is coming out as 2 root 5, which is not the indeterminate form. My only concern is this part. This part is indeterminate. So you can separately apply LH rule in this part and you can find out the limit of this part. So what we can do is simply differentiate this and get the result. Cos square x ka differentiation will be 2 cos x into minus sin x. 3 cos x will be minus 3 sin x minus cos x minus 4 upon differentiation of x will be 1. Now if I put x equal to 0, so this sine 0 will be vanished. So this will become 0. This will become 0. This will become minus cos 0, which is minus 1, minus 4. So minus 5, minus 5, minus 5 upon 2 root 5. We are getting something like this. Check out if some 5 is missing or some factor is missing. I think answer should be this or this. So this D option. So D option is coming. Let's check out if some 5 is missing out here. Root 5 plus root 5 is 2 root 5. We differentiated this term. Once we differentiated, so I'm getting 2 cos square x, 2 cos x minus sin x, 3 cos x will become minus 3 sin x, minus cos x. 4 is gone. Since we differentiated, so 4 will be removed. So this will become minus cos 0, that means minus 1 by 2 root 5 d of. Let's move to next question. Area under the curve, fascinating question. We will try to plot the graph. Once the graph is plotted, then we'll calculate the area via integration. So again, let's try to plot the graph of first y equal to x square plus 4x plus 2. This can be written as x plus 2 ka whole square minus 2. So that means this can be written as y plus 2 equal to x plus 2 whole square, which is nothing but a parabola, upward parabola, whose vertex lies at minus 2 comma minus 2. So that means graph will look something like this. Minus 2 comma minus 2 will lie somewhere here. Let's also calculate the y-intercept so that I can draw the actual graph. So if I put x as 0, I'm getting y as 2. So that means it will pass through 0 comma 2. 0 comma 2 point will lie somewhere here. So my parabola will look something like this. So this will be my graph of this point is 0 comma 2. So this will be my graph of this function. Now my y should be greater than this. So that means y will be lying in this region, this particular region. Now coming to next graph, y equal to mod of x plus 2. So what is the graph of y equal to mod x? Like this. Now graph of mod x plus 2 will be shifted 2 units towards left. So I'll get something like this. So simply minus 2 comma 0 point will be lying somewhere here. Again, let's check if it's passing through this point. If I substitute x as 0, I'll get y as 2. That means it will also pass through this particular point. So graph of y equal to mod x plus 2 will look something like this, V shape. Now you want the y to be less than mod of x plus 2 and you want the y should be greater than this part. So that means you want to find the area of this region. Right? You want to find the area of this region. Now what you can do is, I can simply find the area of this particular region. I'll find the area of this particular region and multiply it by 2 to get the area of that particular region, entire region. So let's find out this area, A1. So A1 can be written as integration of y up minus y down times dx And what will be the limits which you will put from -2 to 0? So -2 to 0. This will be your area. So this will become -2 to 0. What is y up? Y up is this particular curve. Now mod can be opened as positive because this is the line y equal to x plus 2. So this will become x plus 2 minus, what is y down? Y down is this particular curve. What is this particular curve? X square plus 4x plus 2. So this will be x square minus 4x minus 2, something like this. So 2 से 2 cancel. Integration of x will be x square by 2 minus x square का integration will be x cube by 3, or what we can do is x minus 4x is giving me minus 3x. So this will be minus 3x. का integration will be x square by 2 minus integration of x square will be x cube upon 3. And I want to apply limits from 0 to minus 2. Let's apply the limits and get the result. 0, 0. यहाँ पे if I substitute 2, what will I get? 3 into 3 by 2 into minus 2 square. So this will be 4 and plus, since minus sign will be there, this minus and this minus will become plus. So you will get minus 2 ka cube. So that will become minus 8 by 3. So this will be minus of 8 by 3. Something like this is what I'm getting. So this is coming out as 6 minus 8 by 3. So this is 10 by 3. 10 by 3 is the area of this particular region. So area of this particular region will be 20 by 3. See here. Right? That's how, just plot the graph and find out the area under the curve. Again, it will be counted as an easy question, or I can say medium question, because graph plotting might be slightly challenging. Once you have plotted the graph, then integration is like right hand rule. Let's move to this question. Again, a standard question from vectors which we encounter each and every year almost. A is equal to I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap, B equal to this. C is a vector which is coplanar with A and B. So that means C can be written as lambda times of A plus mu times of B. So that will give me my C vector. So C vector will be something like this, lambda times of I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap. Mu times of B vector. B vector is given as 3I cap plus j cap minus k cap. Right? So that means I'll get lambda plus 3 mu times of I cap. From here 2 lambda plus mu times of j cap and 3 lambda minus mu times of k cap. This is my C bar. Now C vector is coplanar with A and B. Also A dot C is given as 5. So A ka dot, if I take with C, I should get the output as 5. So 1 multiplied by lambda plus 3 mu plus 2 multiplied by 2 lambda plus mu. So I'll get 4 lambda plus 2 mu plus 3 multiplied by 3 lambda minus mu. So that gives me 9 lambda minus 3 mu. This should be equal to 5. This is giving me my first equation. Similarly, C is perpendicular to B. So that means B dot C should be 0. So B dot C should be 0. So 3 multiplied by this, 1 multiplied by this, minus 1 multiplied by this will give you, should be equal to 0. Now two variables, two equations, solve for lambda solve for mu. Once you have obtained lambda and mu, just substitute the values here. You will get the C vector. C vector is known. So what will be the magnitude of C vector? Under root of I cap का कोएफिशिएंट का स्क्वायर, J cap के कोएफिशिएंट का स्क्वायर, K cap के कोएफिशिएंट का स्क्वायर. You will get the result easily. Right? So again, very easy question. These type of questions you can start attempting at the very first screening itself. Moving on to next question. Again, as I mentioned, every time from differential equation chapter, either you are getting a problem for LDE, linear differential equation, or homogeneous. So also make sure that the other next shift, whosoever is giving the paper, please make sure that you are revising linear differential equation thoroughly. Every time we are seeing the question in this shift. Okay? So integrating factor will be dx is x upon 1 plus x square. So that means my integrating factor will come out as e raised to the power integration of x upon 1 plus x square. Right? Now, what will be the integration of this part? If I put x square as 1 plus x square as t, this whole part will become dt. 2x dx will become dt. So I'll multiply by 2, I'll divide by 2. So I'll get the integration as ln of 1 plus x square. So that means this is coming out as e raised to the power half ln of 1 plus x square. Also, I can write it like this is half, so I can take it upside. This will become e raised to the power ln of under root of 1 plus x square. E and ln, you can swap. Ln e will become 1. Integrating factor will come out as under root of 1 plus x square. So, solution of this differential equation, as we already know, y into integrating factor is equal to right hand side root x upon root 1 plus x square into integrating factor ka integration. So what will be the integrating factor? That is under root of 1 plus x square dx whole integration plus c. This will give you your solution of this differential equation. Y into what is integrating factor? Root over 1 plus x square is equal to, this is x to the power half. So this will become x raised to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 plus c. Y of 0 is given as 0. So that means if I substitute x equal to 0, I should get y equal to 0. So 0, 0. So c comes out as 0. That means my function becomes y root 1 plus x square is equal to 2 by 3 x raised to the power 3 by 2. Y of 1 will be, simply substitute x equal to 1, you will get the result. So you will get something like this, y equal to 2 by 3, 1, 1 plus 1, 2. This will come root 2. This get cancelled. Root 2 upon 3. C option. Root 2 by 3. So straightforward question, same question of linear differential equation. Keep doing it. Alpha and beta are real numbers such that sec square tan inverse alpha plus cosec square cot inverse beta is equal to 36. Alpha plus beta is given as 8. Again, why students might find inverse trigonometry difficult is because they keep dealing in inverse trigonometry. The main concept here is deal in trigonometry. Always substitute such angles as theta and then find out the value. So if I substitute this as theta, what will be the value of alpha? Alpha can be written as tan theta. Now, since this is theta, so you are calculating sec square theta. So what will be sec square theta? sec square theta is nothing but 1 plus tan square theta. So what is the value you are getting? 1 plus alpha square. So this thing is coming out as 1 plus alpha square. Exactly same thing I'll do here. I'll assume this as something phi. So beta will become cot phi. Again, cosec square is 1 plus cot square. So this thing will become 1 plus beta square. So basically this whole expression, which looks so complicated, will become 1 plus alpha square plus 1 plus beta square is equal to 36. That is giving me alpha square plus beta square is equal to 34. Alpha plus beta is given as 8. Now, either you can solve this equation using quadratic, you can substitute the value of beta as 8 minus alpha, or also you can do it quite smartly. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 square 25 plus 9 is 34. Also it is given that alpha is greater than beta. Definitely alpha ki value is 5, beta is 3. So no need to solve such type of questions. You can directly predict the values based on the given equation. Alpha is 5, beta is 3. So what you are getting? 5 square plus 3. Answer will be 28. Moving on to next question. If the images, same question which we discussed in January 2022 shift 1, exactly same question came in. If the images of the points this in the line this are DEF respectively, then the centroid of the triangle DEF. So again, the concept is same. This is your triangle and this is some random line given. Based on that, if you'll find the image, you will get some another triangle whose centroid you want to find. So why calculating the image of each of the coordinates of vertex when I can directly find the centroid of the given triangle and I can directly find the image about this line. So let's do one thing. This point is given as 1, 3. This is 3, 1 and this point is 2, 4. So what will be the coordinates of centroid? x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. So that means 1 plus 3, 4 plus 2, 6. 6 upon 3 will give you 2. 3 plus 1, 4 plus 4. 8 by 3. So 8, 3, 2, 8 by 3 is the coordinate of this centroid. Now I want to find the centroid of triangle DEF. So what I can do is I can find the image of this particular coordinate with respect to this line. What is the equation of this line? X plus 2y minus 4 equal to 0. Right? What is the formula for image? You can directly apply a formula, or if you want, you can also find the coordinates of foot of perpendicular, and then using midpoint, you can find the image of this particular point. So we can directly use that formula. X minus x1 upon a equal to y minus y1 upon b equal to minus 2 times of ax1 plus by1 plus c upon a square plus b square. Let's use this formula and get the result. So what is the value of x I want to find out? x1 is coordinates of x coordinates of this point, which is 2 upon a. A is 1. So this is 1 is equal to y minus 8 by 3 upon what is b? This is 2 is equal to minus 2 times of ax1. 1 multiplied by 2. B multiplied by this 8 by 3 into 2. So we'll get 16 by 3. C is given as 4 upon a square plus b square. So 1 square plus 2 square, this will come out as 5. Solve this, get the coordinates of x and y, your centroid will be available, right? Again, easy question, but I'll classify it as medium because again, a lot of you might start finding out the image of these particular points and then find out the centroid. So just remember this trick, then it's very easy. Let the parabola y equal to x square plus px minus 3 cuts the coordinate axes at p, q and r. Okay. A circle with center -1, -1 passes through PQR. Then the area of triangle PQR is. Let's try to solve this question. So first I'll just draw a random parabola. If I put x as 0, I'm getting y as -3. So definitely this parabola is passing through 0, -3. Now, also I know one thing, that it is given that cuts the coordinate axis at P, Q and R. Now, this is one point is this. Other 2 points will be definitely these two roots of this particular quadratic equation. If I put y as 0, whatever roots I am getting, that should give me these 2 points. So that means my graph will look something like this. Either this or maybe like this. We don't know. But as of now, let's assume that graph looks like this. So this is passing through 0, -3. Now, coordinates of this point, let me assume as alpha, 0. Let me assume this point as beta, 0. Now, alpha and beta are nothing but the roots of this equation. X square plus px minus 3 equal to 0. So, one thing I can say for sure is alpha beta is equal to -3. Product of roots is -3. Now, moving on to next part, a circle with center -1, -1. There is a circle whose center is at -1, -1 and which is passing through all these 3 points PQR. So this is something like this. There is a circle whose center lies at -1, -1 and which is passing through these 3 points. And this is the center of the circle. So something like this is happening. Now, if I find the distance between these 2 points, it will give me radius of the circle. This point is center and this point is lying on the circle. So that means this radius will come out as under root of -1 -0 1 square -1 plus 3 2 square. So radius will come out as root 5. That means what I can say is this distance is root 5. By similar logic, since this point is also satisfying the equation of circle, that means this distance should also be root 5. So if I apply distance formula, what I will get under root of alpha plus 1 whole square 0 minus 1 square, that should be equal to root 5. So from here what I am getting, alpha plus 1 whole square plus 1 equal to 5. So alpha plus 1 is coming out as plus minus 2. Why we are getting two values? Because there is another point which is lying on x-axis that is also at root 5 distance. That is definitely giving me the coordinates of point beta. So alpha is coming out as -3. Definitely the other value is giving me the value of beta. So beta is, if you take plus sign 2 minus 1, that will come out as 1. And you can also check the product of roots is coming out as -3. That means the coordinate of this point will be -3, 0 and the coordinate of this point will be 1, 0. Now it's a very straightforward question. You want to find the area of triangle passing through these 3 points. You can simply use that formula, half of determinant x1 y1 1 x2 y2 1 x3, y3, 1, and you know the x coordinates of all these 3 points, y coordinates of all these 3 points. You can find out the area. Also, if you want, you can simply join this, form a triangle, half base into height. This distance is already known, this height is already known, this height is 3, so half into 3 into, what is this distance? 4. So this will come out as 6. We'll get there. It's a nice question. The trick here is you have to identify how to calculate the radius using root 5. If you'll get stuck with how to find P, then you will get stuck in the question. So it's a beautiful question. I'll classify it as medium to hard because a lot of information is given, a lot of things needs to be plotted and then. Moving on to probability question. Two persons A and B throw a pair of die alternatively. Okay. For A to win, he should throw sum of 5 before B throws sum of 8. So let's do one thing. What will be the sample space if I throw a pair of dice? So it will be 36 elements, right? Total there will be 36 elements. 1, 1, 1, 2, and so on till 1, 6, 6, 1, and so on till 6, 6. This will be 36 elements when I'll throw a pair of dice. Now, for A to win, he should throw sum of 5. Let's calculate how sum 5 can be obtained. It can be obtained through 1 plus 4. 0 is not possible on dice, obviously. So 1, 4 is there, then 4, 1 is also there. Next one could be 2, 3. Then other one could be 3, 2. So any other possibility that we can think of? No. These 4 cases will be there. So probability of A winning, probability A to win, he should throw some 5. Now probability of success of A can be written as number of favorable outcomes upon total outcomes, which is 36, which is 1 by 9. So this is the probability of success of A. Now B throw the sum of 8. What will be the probability of success of B? So now I want to throw the sum of 8. So 8 sum can be given by 1, 7, but 7 will not come on dice. So next will be 2, 6. 2, 6 is there, so 6, 2 will also be there. Then 3, 5. 3, 5 is there, so 5, 3. Then 4, 4. These 5 possibilities are there to get the sum 8. So now probability of success of B, P dash, what will be? It will be 5 upon 36. Right. Now you want A to win, and it is given that A throws first. A is throwing the dice first. So what all possible combinations can be there? Like, for example, if A throws at the first instant and you get some 5, then A wins the game. B won't even get the chance, right? Now, if A fails, B also has to fail in order for A to win in the next attempt. So either A wins in the first attempt or A fails in the first attempt, B also fails in the first attempt, then A wins in the second attempt. Then A wins. Similarly, A fails, B fails, A fails again, B fails again, then A wins. So this will be an infinite loop. This game will keep continuing unless one out of A and B wins. But we want A to win. That's why this is your required probability. Right? So what is the value of P? P is 1 by 9, and this is, let's keep it P only as of now. What is Q into Q dash? So what is the value of Q? Q will be probability of failure, 1 minus 1 by 9, that will be 8 by 9. So this is 8 by 9 into Q dash. What is Q dash? 31 upon 36, right? So this will become 31 upon 36 times P, and so on. Then again same thing, 8 by 9, 8 by 9 whole square, 31 by 36 whole square. So 8 by 9 into 31 by 36 whole square times P, and so on. This is an infinite GP. Infinite GP, what will be the sum? A upon 1 minus R. So A upon 1 minus R, that means A, that is P, upon 1 minus, what is the common ratio? 8 by 9 into 31 by 36. Now it's time to substitute the value of P. P is your 1 by 9. So 1 by 9 upon 1 minus 8 by 9 into 36, 31 by 36. Eight by 9 into 31 by 36. So let's calculate this. 1 by 9 upon 36 nines are 324. 324 minus 248. 248, 324. Upon 9 into 36, which is 9 and 9 will cancel out. You'll get 36 upon 324 minus 248, which is 76. 419, 9 by 9. B off. Again, we have discussed these type of questions in classroom. Infinite GP, beautiful question. A lot of times number of trials are not given. In that cases, we have to go till infinite series. If they give you the number of trials, then you will use binomial expansion formula, NCR P raised to the power R Q raised to the power n minus R. That is also very important. You might get such questions in the next shift, so please revise accordingly. Moving on to next question. So again, straightforward question from statistics. Sigma xi is given, sigma xi square is given, observations this and this are replaced with 6 and 8. Then new mean निकाल सकते हैं, and then you can find out new variance, right? So new summation, this is your old summation, and 4 and 5 are replaced with 6 and x. So that means what will be your revised mean? That will be 55. I'll erase these terms, minus 4 minus 5, and replace them with 6 and 8. So this will be my new sum. So new sum will come out as 60. So this is my new sigma xi. Similarly, in order to find out new sigma xi square, what I can do is 328 minus 4 square minus 5 square plus 6 square plus 8 square. So this will come out as 328 minus 16 minus 25 plus 36 plus 64. 428 minus 25, 403 minus 16, 387 is what I'm getting as new sigma xi square. So what will be the new variance? So what is the formula of variance? Sigma xi square upon n minus mu square, sigma xi square minus n upon mu square. So let's substitute the values. What are we getting? 387 upon. What is the value of n? N is number of terms from 1 to 10. So this is 10 minus. Now number of sigma xi is 60. So 60 upon 10, that will give me 6. 6 is my new mean. So 6 square will become 36. So that is giving me 38.7 minus 36. That will come out as 217. B option is your answer. Moving on to next question. Question of, it will seem like a question of by parts, integration by parts, or some different concepts will start clicking your mind whenever you try to attempt these type of questions. But always keep your mind open whenever you try to attempt these type of questions. In which section you want to attempt apply by parts. Sometimes question might be playing with you. Like you don't have to attempt by parts and still you might get the answer. So this is one of those questions which will look very difficult, but it's actually very easy. So let's try to write I of 914. So what will be I of 914? I'll substitute m की जगह n, m in place of m I'll substitute 9, in place of n I'll substitute 14. So what I'll get is integration from 0 to 1 x raised to the power 9 minus 1, that is 8, 1 minus x, 14 minus 1, that will give me 13. This is my I 914. Then again, can I write I 1013? Yes. What will be I 1013? This will become 10 minus 1, so x to the power 9, and this will become 13 minus 1, so that will become 12. Now you want to add these two, right? Simply add these two equations. What you will get? I 914 plus I 1013 is equal to integration 0 to 1. Take x raised to the power 8 as common. Take 1 minus x raised to the power 12 as common. I am adding these. So x raised to the power 8, 1 minus x raised to the power 12. When I take as common, what will remain inside is what we are trying to check. X raised to the power 8 is taken out. 1 minus x 12 is taken out, so you will get 1 minus x, which is remaining. From here, x to the power 8 is taken out, 1 x is remaining, 1 minus x 12 is taken out. So plus x. Cancel, cancel. So this whole thing is coming out as integration of 0 to 1 x raised to the power 8, 1 minus x raised to the power 12, which is nothing but I of 913. 9 minus 1 is 8, 13 minus 1 is 12. That's why your answer will become here. Again, easy question, which might look difficult. Some of you might start attempting by parts because you are seeing x to the power 9. You will try to integrate in order to create terms like this. But again, just try to add and try to see what we are trying to evaluate. Find the product of all real roots of this equation. Again, an easy question, because if you will multiply this, you will get x square minus 9x plus 20. So if you will substitute this as t, this automatically becomes t plus 9, and that's where you can solve these type of questions. So no concept involved, just go ahead and keep solving it, you will get the answer. So this becomes x square minus 9x plus 20. Now if I substitute x square minus 9x plus 11 as t, so this equation will become t square minus, this is t plus 9, if this is t, तो x square minus 9x plus 20 कितना हो जाएगा? t plus 9. So this will become t square minus t plus 9 equal to 2. T square minus t minus 9 minus 2. Correct? T square minus t minus 9 minus 2 minus 11 equal to 0. So this is what we are getting. Now let's try to find out the values of t. So t will be minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So I'll get 1 minus 44 plus 44. So this will become root 45 upon 2. So this is what I'm getting. What is the value of t? That x square minus 9x plus 11 equal to t. Is equal to 1 plus root 45. First time equating with the positive root. So your positive root will become, this will become root 45 plus 1 upon 2. This is what you are obtaining. So this equation will become x square minus 9x plus 11 minus root 45 plus 1 by 2 equal to 0. So if I simplify this, this will become x square minus 9x, 2, 11, 22 minus 1, 21 minus root 45 upon 2. Something like this I am getting. Now, in order to find out the product of all real roots of this equation, I don't have to find roots entirely. Product of roots is given by c by a, right? So you don't have to find the root. So you just have to check whether this equation has real roots or not. If the equation has real roots, you can directly claim that this is giving me c by a, which is your product of roots. So simply check out for discriminant. So what is the discriminant of this? 81 minus 4 into 1 by 2 into 21 minus root 45. So this is coming out as 21 minus root 45. Root 45 will be somewhere around close to 7. 21 minus 7, 14 into 2, 28, which is positive. Since discriminant is positive, that means I can say that both the roots coming from this equation will be real. Again, if I put negative sign, I will get the product of other two roots. So other two roots will be x square minus 9x plus 11 equal to 1 minus root 45 upon 2. Now let's calculate this. What we are getting? X square minus 9x plus 11 minus 1 minus root 45 by 2 equal to 0. So this equation will become x square minus 9x. 2 11s are 22 minus 1 21 plus root 45 by 2. So this will become 21 plus root 45 upon 2 equal to 0. 22 minus 121 plus root 45 by 2 equal to 0. Now again, let's just check out if the discriminant is positive, then our job is done. 81 minus 4 times of this value. Let's try to calculate this value. So this will become 81 minus 4 into 1 into half into 21 plus root 45. Again, root 45 will be somewhere around 7, 6 point something. 21 plus 7, 28 by 2, 14, 4, 56. 81 minus 56, which is positive. So that means this equation also has real roots. So product of roots, what will be the roots of this equation? Let's say alpha, beta. what will be the roots of this equation? This will be gamma delta. So what will be the product of roots? Alpha, beta, gamma and delta. So value of alpha beta is coming out as 21 minus root 45 by 2 C by A. Value of gamma delta is coming out as 21 plus root 45 upon 2. Simply multiply and solve, you will get the result. 441 minus 45. So this will become 396. 441 minus 45 upon 4. So this is coming out as 396 by 4. So this is coming out 99. So 99 will be your answer. Again, it's like slightly lengthy question, just calculation, nothing very conceptual. These type of questions you have done in class 10 where you assume a quadratic is T and then calculate the. Coming to this question. So this question has been claimed as wrong. Some information is missing in this question. We'll discuss this question once we have the right question with we can, however, I can just give you the idea how to do these type of questions. So fx is given, f of 1 by x is given. So by default, this should click in your mind ki replace x with 1 by x. So f of 1 by x plus 6 times of fx will give me 3x by 2 minus 5 by 13. So this is my first equation. This is my second equation. Can you eliminate f of 1 by x from this equation? You will get the value of fx. So what you can do is you can simply multiply it by 6. Once you multiply it by 6, 6 times of f of 1 by x will be generated. When you will subtract these two equations, you will get your function fx. Once you have the function fx, you will substitute it here. You will find the values of alpha and beta by substituting the limits. So these type of questions you have seen in functions, functional equations, how to use. Moving on to next question. A and C are 2 points on the line this such that AC is equal to 6 and B is 1, 1 minus 2. Again, this information is sufficient to solve the question. You want to find the area of triangle ABC. A and C are 2 points on this line. Let's assume this line as, this is your line, this is your point A, this is your point C, and equation of this line is given as x minus 6 upon 3 equal to y minus 7 upon 2 is equal to z minus 7 upon minus 2. Right. AC distance is given to you. This distance is 6. Now, there is a point B whose coordinates is given. This is your point B. This is 1, 1, minus 2. And they are saying find the area of triangle ABC. Can I join these two to form a triangle? Now this triangle is formed. AC distance is given. Can you simply calculate the height? So this height is nothing but perpendicular distance of point from this line. Perpendicular distance of point from this line. So how to find this distance? Just find out the foot of perpendicular. How to find the foot of perpendicular? You will take general point on this line. So what will be the general point on this line? This will be 3 lambda plus 6, comma 2 lambda plus 7, 7 minus 2 lambda. This is your general point on this line. So let's assume this is the coordinate of this point. Now, since these two lines are perpendicular, the dot product of their direction ratios is equal to 0. So what is the parallel vector of this line? 3, 2, minus 2. 3, 2, minus 2. This is the direction cosine, the direction ratio of this line. What will be the direction ratio of this line? 3 lambda plus 6 minus 1. We'll get 3 lambda plus 5. 2 lambda plus 7 minus 1. 7 minus 2 lambda minus 2. So you'll get 9 minus 2 lambda. We're getting something like this. Now simply dot product को क्या कर दोगे? 0. Once you equate dot product to 0, you'll get the value of lambda. Once you get the value of lambda, you can substitute it here. You will get the coordinates of this point. By distance formula, you can find out this distance. Half base into height will give you the area of triangle. So let's solve it quickly. 9 lambda plus 15 plus 4 lambda plus 12 minus 18 plus 4 lambda equal to 0. So 9 plus 4, 13 plus 4, 17 lambda, 15, 12, 27 minus 18. Lambda is coming out as minus 9 by 17. Substitute the value here, get the coordinates of this point. Distance formula से get this distance. Apply half into base. Base is AC. AC is given as 6 and you can find out the side. You'll get the area of triangle. So these are the questions of mathematics. Next, so it was, I would say, a moderate paper. Some questions were quite lengthier. Again, you should be selective enough in these type of examinations to select which questions you want to attempt first. That's how you can score better. Moving on to chemistry part. So chemistry sir will be discussing the chemistry questions now.
Okay. Hello students. Hope your exam went well. Okay. Okay. Now we will be discussing all the questions that I got in organic chemistry. Okay. 1 second. Let me just import that file. See, for chemistry, I would say ki the paper was easy only. Okay. Most of the questions mainly from NCERT only. Okay. So for the students who are going to write this exam, the next shift, for them this paper is very important. Okay, because we are seeing many similar questions. Okay, many similar questions we got these topics and all that is repeating. Okay, now 1 second. Okay, organic chemistry will be doing. So this is the first question. Okay, first question, what they are asking in this question, they are asking the order of nucleophilic addition to acetophenone, paranitrophenyldehyde, benzaldehyde and toluoldehyde. Okay, so nucleophilic addition, so all these are carbonyl compounds, correct? Clear? Now to any carbonyl compound, when I am adding nucleophile, so this is a carbonyl compound, I am adding nucleophile, this will be added, this will be broken, so this will be the intermediate that we will be getting here Nu like this. Okay, now in this C, previously before the addition of this nucleophile, how many group was attached? Only 1, 2, 3. 3 groups was attached. Now after this addition of nucleophile, how many groups attached? 4. That means steric hindrance increased, and this steric factor is the main factor in nucleophilic addition reactions. Okay, so steric factor is the main factor in nucleophilic addition. So as a result, what we will observe that ketones will always have lower rate than that of aldehyde. Okay, in nucleophilic addition. So let's see the structures. Acetophenone means from the acetone, okay, one of the groups should be replaced with phenol, means benzene thing. So this will be PH C double bond O CH3. This is nothing but acetophenone. Okay, acetophenone. Okay, so this is one ketone. This is 1. Now 2, what they have given? Para-nitrobenzaldehyde. Okay, that means I need to draw benzaldehyde para-nitro, this one. Okay, this is para-nitrobenzaldehyde 2. Third, what they have given? Benzaldehyde only. Benzaldehyde. Fourth, what they have given? They have given para-toluene. That means structure is here CH3 and here it is CH. That is the structure. Okay. Now first one is ketone. Obviously this will have lower rate. Okay. So lowest rate for this one. Now all these three are aldehyde. Correct. So aldehyde will have higher rate. Now here see in this aldehyde, this nitro group will be pulling electron from this ring. As a result, here the partial positive charge will be more. Clear? Just because of this NO2 group. So that means among all these three, this will have highest rate. So lowest rate will be there for fourth one. Okay, and highest rate will be there for second one. See, with this also only I think we can answer. Highest will be for 2. Okay. Sorry, this is 1, correct? This one is 1. So highest for 2, lowest for this. And now between these two, this and this, okay, here this plus I group will be decreasing the partial positive charge here. As a result, this will have lower rate than that of this one. Okay. So according to this, 2 should be highest, then it should be 3, then it should be 4, then it should be 1. That means option number 1. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Next, what we have? Ribose, okay, present in DNA is, okay. Now, which ribose is present in DNA? We know that deoxyribose, okay, that also beta 2, beta first D 2 deoxyribose, okay, that is present in DNA. Okay. Now, what is the structure of this one? Structure of this one is here beta means OH will be up, H down. Now in 2 you have deoxy means here OH group will be replaced with hydrogen, here OH and H, here it should be CH2 OH and H. This is only the ribose which is present in DNA. Okay. First of all, okay, what they have given, it is a pentose sugar. Pentose sugar means 5 carbon should be there. 5 carbon should be there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this is true. So this is pentose sugar, true. Now present in pyranosperm. Pyranosperm means 6-member ring, correct? Similar to pyran, but it is looking like furan, correct? See this furano structure. That means this statement given is false. This should be furanose ring. Okay. Now what they have given? Alpha anomeric carbon is present. Now we know this is beta D glucose. That means at this position, carbon, anomeric carbon will have beta configuration, not the alpha. That means this also false. Okay. Now what they have given present in D configuration, already we have written this is D configuration. That means this also true, correct? Now what they have given, it is reducing sugar. It is reducing sugar in case of free form. Okay, in the free form it will have CHO, correct? That group will be there. That means it will be reducing in nature. Okay, and see from there also we can say here hemiacetal group is present. Whenever hemiacetal group is present in cyclic structure, that will be reducing sugar. So this also true. That means correct statements are A, then D and E. So option 4, A, D, E. Okay, clear this one. Now next question. Which of the following compound react faster with HBr? Okay. Now here Here I have double bond pi electron, okay. It is adding to HBr. So what is the rate determining step? Rate determining step is addition of this electrophile H plus, okay. That will be the rate determining step. Now after that what will happen? So this will be connected. So in case of any carbon-carbon double bond, okay, when electrophile is added, H plus is added, then carbocation will be formed. One carbocation will be formed. Now stability of this carbocation determines the rate of the reaction. If this carbocation is more stable, the rate of reaction will be very high. Now here what carbocation will be getting? The carbocation here will be this one, okay, 3-degree carbocation that we will be getting. Now here also if I give H plus, what will be the carbocation formed? Say here this is the carbocation, positive charge, okay. So here this carbocation will be getting. In this case also after the H plus, here sorry, this and this carbocation generated will be this one. In this case, so I am removing this. In this case also if I give H plus, carbocation generated will be positive, okay. Now this carbocation will be stabilized by this lone pair of electron present on oxygen. That means here this carbocation will be stabilized by the resonance with this lone pair of electron. So this carbocation is most stable, so this will have highest rate, okay. Okay, now next question, okay, next question, okay. So first what they have given, Hg2 plus H2SO4, that means this is nothing but oxymercuration demercuration, correct. So oxymercuration demercuration if I do to this alkyne, terminal alkyne, that will give you aldehyde. Terminal alkyne, that means this will give you aldehyde. That means first I will be getting CH3 CH2 CH4, that I will be getting, okay. Now this one when it is reacting with HCN, so this is cyanohydrin formation, so this HCN will be added to this CHO, I will be getting CH3 C, here this O will be converting into OH and this will be converting into CN and this hydrogen, okay. Now next what they are doing, next step they are doing reduction with nickel and hydrogen, H2 nickel. So this is a strong reducing agent, okay, hydrogenating agent. So this will break the pi bond and insert the hydrogen, okay. So here pi bond only present between C and N, so this pi bond will be broken and hydrogen will be inserted and the compound will be CH3 OH, okay, CH, so this will be CH2 NH2, that will be the final product. That means which option? Option C will be the correct answer, okay. Now next, okay, they are asking in Dumas method which gas is evolved. Quite easy. In last shift also we got question regarding Carriers method. Now this shift they are asking question in Dumas method. So this qualitative analysis and quantitative analysis both are very important, okay, for your point. So the students who are going to write the exam next shift, please do revise this method, all these methods, Carriers method, Dumas method, all one, Zeldal method, okay. Now Dumas method, what happens, that organic sample, okay, suppose say OS, that OS will be taking between copper and copper oxide gauge, okay, in a tube. So what is the role of this copper oxide? This copper oxide will be oxidizing the organic sample and this copper will be reducing the nitrogen oxides, okay. Now take an example, suppose I have this is CX HY and NZ, this is my organic compound, okay. If this organic compound is reacting with copper oxide, this copper oxide is a strong oxidizing agent, it will be oxidizing carbon into carbon dioxide, correct. So how many carbons present? X, so this will be X carbon dioxide. Now hydrogen will be converted into water, so H2O, how many hydrogens are there? Y, so this will be Y by 2, okay. Now nitrogen will be converted into N2. Okay. Now here Z was there, so this should be Z by 2, and this copper oxide itself will be converting into copper. Okay. Now for the balancing, here I need to put some number also. How many options are there? 2x plus y by 2. So this should be 2x plus y by 2. 2x plus y by 2. Okay. So this is the equation. So here also copper also same. It will be 2x plus y by 2. Okay. So which gas is got? Obviously answer is nitrogen. Correct. See, remember here, few of the nitrogen will be converting into its oxide, like NO2, like this. Okay, it will be converting. Now this Cu that we will be using now, that Cu will be again reducing this NO2 to N2. So finally you will be getting N2 only. All the nitrogen which is present in the organic compound will be converted into N2. So these are the questions that I got. Okay. Now Sumit sir will be discussing the inorganic and physical questions. Okay. Thank you.
Hello students. So let's see the questions which are asked from inorganic chemistry segment. All right. Okay, we have memory based questions over here for the inorganic chemistry. Okay, let's look at the question number 1. The question is, the large difference in melting point and boiling point of oxygen and sulfur is due to. Then you have 4 options: atomic size, atomicity, electron gain enthalpy, and electronegativity. Right. So looking at the options, this option doesn't have any relation with the melting point. Right. Now just remember one thing, we are going to discuss about oxygen and sulfur. Right. Okay. Oxygen. The oxygen exists like O2. Oxygen exists like O2 molecule. And sulfur exists like S8 molecule. Okay, the structure of oxygen is O double bond O, while for sulfur S8 structure is something like this crown shaped structure, right? At every corner there is a presence of one sulfur atom, something like this. Now you can see that over here sulfur and sulfur have only sigma bonds. Over here oxygen have sigma plus pi, right? Over here there is no pi bond, all of them are sigma bonds. Number of bonds are more. That means the melting point and boiling point of sulfur will be high. Why? Because atomicity is high, molar mass is high. So therefore the correct option for this question will be atomicity. Sulfur and sulfur, due to larger size, they cannot make pi bond, so they will form only sigma bond. So the structure of S8 is like this, they have only sigma bonds, right? So due to atomicity here, more number of atoms are present, the boiling point and melting point of sulfur is high. The correct answer will be atomicity. Chalo, okay. Moving to the next question. Which of the following is the strongest oxidizing agent? This is a question straightforward from NCERT. Today also and from the past, in the past 4 shifts of this year, inorganic questions are directly taken from NCERT. This is also taken from NCERT. Straightforward in NCERT, it is mentioned that cerium plus 4, right, is strongest oxidizing agent. Over here the answer will be cerium plus 4. Cerium plus 4 converts into cerium plus 3. If you see the NCERT, this electrode potential is also written. It is around 1.74 volts plus 1.74 volts, right? Okay, so the correct answer is cerium plus 4. In class, we have studied that there are 3 plus 4 ions. 3 plus 4 ions. Which one? Cerium plus 4, plasmodium plus 4, neodymium plus 4. These act as better oxidizing agent. These are better oxidizing agent, right? So just remember this thing. These are better oxidizing agent. Plus 4 will convert into plus 3, and if they would have been in plus 2, then plus 2 will convert into plus 3. Okay, so plus 2 ones will act as reducing agent, plus 4 ones will act as oxidizing agent. All right, so this was an easy question, straightforward from NCERT. That's what we study in F block, right? Okay, so next question. Dipole moment, chemical bonding. 3 molecules are given. We have to talk about the dipole moment. One of the option is CH4. CH4, you can easily say that CH4 has perfect tetrahedral shape. Perfect tetrahedral shape, CH4. All the bond angles are 109 degree 28 minutes. So over here, the direction of dipole moment will be, in chemistry, the direction of dipole moment will be like this. All of them have equal magnitude. 4 equal magnitude vectors arranged at 109 degree 28 minutes. The resultant will be 0. Perfect geometrical shape hai. So its dipole moment will be 0. So CH4 should be coming at last. That means either answer A is correct or answer C is correct. Now look at the other 2 compounds which are given. Ammonia and water. Okay, now let's make the structure. Ammonia, the hybridization of nitrogen is sp3. The shape of ammonia is like this. If we talk about the direction of dipole moment, H2n, 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 and then there will be a one more dipole towards this lone pair. All right, all the dipoles are pointing towards the same direction. Okay, now let's make the structure of water. Oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, bent shape, V shape. Over here, how many lone pairs are there? 2 lone pairs. Okay, now mark the direction of the dipole moments. H2O, H2O, this lone pair towards this lone pair. Okay, so now you can see that which dipole moment, where resultant will be more. First thing, here oxygen is more electronegative. So obviously the magnitude of this dipole, HO bond, this dipole moment magnitude will be greater than this HN bond dipole moment, right? And one more thing, over here there are 2 dipoles due to lone pairs. So the resultant will be more for water. For ammonia, there will be dipole moment, but it will be slightly lesser than water. Okay, so the correct answer will be the highest dipole moment, water. Second, ammonia. Last, CH4, non-polar molecule. All right, clear? So these are the 3 memory-based questions from inorganic chemistry which we have received from our students. Okay, so I would say that inorganic chemistry once again directly from NCERT. So for the upcoming shifts, those students who are going to give the exam tomorrow, day after tomorrow, so they please focus on the NCERT, right? NCERT F block, remember the periodic table, remember the elements, in which period, in which group elements are present, right? Okay, so let's see some of the questions of physical chemistry also. Physical chemistry, if we talk, then the first question which we have over here is from mole concept. In every shift, yesterday and day before yesterday, in the past 4 shifts, in each shift there was at least one mole concept question, one question from this chapter. Okay, let's study this question. The reaction is given Fe3O4 plus CO is reacting to give CO2 and Fe. So the reaction is balanced also. Okay, if 10 moles of CO react with 10 moles of Fe3O4, what will be the weight of Fe produced? Okay, it's a very simple question. Yeah, Fe3O4 plus 4 times CO is giving you 4 times carbon dioxide plus 3 times Fe. Okay, this is the balanced reaction. Initially, what is the data that we have over here? How much CO is taken initially? 10 moles. How much Fe3O4 is taken initially? 10 moles. The reaction is balanced. So the next thing, figure out the limiting reagent. Which one is the limiting reagent? Logically, you can see over here, it's quite common sense that over here, The limiting reagent is carbon monoxide. If you're not able to see, just follow the process. Number of moles divided by the stoichiometric coefficient. Number of moles divided by the stoichiometric coefficient. Which fraction is smaller? This fraction is smaller. That means this one is the limiting reagent. Clear what? This one is the limiting reagent. So we need to figure out how much iron will be produced. Now we will go ahead in this question by keeping in mind this carbon monoxide. You can see that 4 moles of CO produce 3 moles of Fe. 4 moles of CO produce 3 moles of Fe. So 1 mole of CO will produce how much Fe? You will say 3 by 4. How many moles of CO do we have? 10. So this is the number of moles of iron which will be produced. We need to figure out mass. So multiply it with the atomic mass of iron, 56. Calculate this. This will come out to be 420 gram. Okay. So answer is 420 gram. So it's a very straightforward question of the limiting reagent. We start our mole concept from these kind of questions, right? Okay. So this is an easy level question, I would say. Next question. Next question is, process is non-spontaneous at freezing point but spontaneous at boiling point. Now students, don't get confused with these terms, freezing point, boiling point. They are just talking about lower temperature and higher temperature. That's it. So they are saying that the process is non-spontaneous at lower temperature and spontaneous at higher temperature. So what will be the symbol of delta H and delta S? Okay, let's see. We know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. When temperature is low, when temperature is equal to the freezing point, the process is non-spontaneous. That means delta G is greater than 0. Delta G is greater than 0. Okay, delta G is greater than 0. That means we get that delta H is greater than T delta S. Okay, over here the temperature is freezing point. So from here we get delta H is greater than TF delta S. Okay. Now for the boiling point, process becomes spontaneous. Delta G will become less than 0. So here we will get that delta H will be less than TB delta S. TB is boiling point. So this and this condition can only be possible if both the values of delta H and delta S are positive. If both are positive, then only this can be achieved, right? So the answer for this question will be B. Thermodynamics, very basic question. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Yesterday also, based on this equation, one question was asked. So for the upcoming shifts also, this equation may be used in the questions, right? Okay. Moving to the next question. Now this is a good question, I would say. Why? Over here, KSP is given for chromium hydroxide, CrOH whole price. CrOH whole price. We are talking about solubility, right? It will give chromium plus 3 aqueous plus 3 times OH minus. Okay. KSP is already given for this chromium hydroxide, which is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 30. So what is asked? The molar solubility of salt in water is this much. Then what is the value of X? Okay, let's see. What is given? KSP is given. KSP for chromium hydroxide is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 30, right? If you write the equation over here, solubility, chromium hydroxide solid is giving you Cr plus 3 aqueous plus 3 times OH minus. So you will say this is produced as S, this is produced as 3S. So you will say that KSP should be equal to 27S to the power 4. If you calculate S from over here, this will come out to be somewhere 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 8. Okay, 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 8. And one more thing which you need to notice over here, we are going to talk about the molar solubility of salt in presence of water. That means over here now some OH minus will be produced due to water also, right? And we know that at room temperature, the OH minus produced due to water are equal to 10 to the power minus 7 molars. Now 10 to the power minus 8 and 10 to the power minus 7, which is a bigger value? 10 to the power minus 7. So let's take the OH minus in this solution due to water. You can neglect the OH minus produced due to chromium hydroxide. Okay, so now write the equation. Now what we get, that KSP is equal to S Actually, what you get that what you want to what you will see that s into 3s plus 10 to the power minus 7. This kind of expression you will write, right? S is less, so you can neglect 3s. You can neglect 3s. Simply just write 10 to the power minus 7. So you will say that s into 10 to the power minus 7 whole cube. KSP is equal to s into 10 to the power minus 7 whole cube, and KSP is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 30. Okay, so from here you will get the value of S, the value of solubility of chromium hydroxide in water, which is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 9. Compare those terms, you will see that x is equal to 9. So the answer will be x is equal to 9. Okay, so these are the three questions which we have till now of the physical chemistry. So I would say that as compared to the previous shifts, the chemistry part, this chemistry part was a little bit slightly difficult, right? Not very difficult, right? Slightly difficult as compared to the previous 4 shifts of this year. Okay, so basically, once again, the same thing. Inorganic questions are straightforward from NCERT. So revise the NCERT. Organic chemistry, you can see that all the famous reaction, all the name reaction, all the good reactions are asked, right? And the physical chemistry is just revise the formulas and you will do well. Okay, so all the best those who are going to give the exams. Thank you.